July 4th, 2022. Oh, you fat fucks. Go out and get your sunburns and your fireworks. Hey. Oh, man. I was traveling, dude. I'm back, by the way. Oh, sorry. A little too loud. I'm back, everybody. If you're wondering where I was, maybe you weren't. You know, maybe you have a life outside my podcast, and maybe that makes me feel things in a certain way that maybe I didn't feel like feeling them on such an early Tuesday morning doing a Monday morning podcast. I did a run of dates, y'all. I did a run of fucking dates that took me from the Pacific Northwest to this country. All them hairy-legged liberals are unless you're out in the woods. And then I went up into Canada. And from there, I went straight to France. Some friends of my wife and I were getting married in the French countryside. And when I got out to the French countryside, countryside de France, I had medieval internet. It's the only way I can describe it. There was just no internet. I could get text messages from people, but if they sent an accompanying photo, it just would never download. So I had basic, that type of shit. So I was recording podcasts, and I tried to send said podcast, and it would say that they went through, and they never did. And then I would get a text message from Andrew going, dude, I know you're out there in France. Where's the podcast? And I'd be like, sacre bleu. However the fuck you say that. Yeah, so I don't even know where to begin, man. By the way, I absolutely fucking crushed speaking French with the French people over there. I fucking killed it. I was getting a lot of smiles like, there you go, you bald old cunt. You're coming around. Like little nods of like, hey, that wasn't bad. I'm not saying I was like fucking over there reading the news. But I was able to say to a cab driver, excuse me, sir, could you put the windows down? It's really hot back here. I was able to say all of that. Excusez-moi, monsieur, est-ce que tu peux ouvrir les fenêtres, s'il vous plaît, parce que il est très chaud derrière avec vous. I don't know. I'm sort of like a Franglish. I was speaking, and I know I didn't say any of that correctly, but I said enough of it correctly. Oh, oui, monsieur. And I was just like, yes! Sorry, I was like, oui! That's when you know you have it down. When you start thinking in that language. But I was so surprised and thrilled with the amount of shit that I was able to convey. Just by knowing how to order, directions, and just knowing to go, to want, and to buy, just knowing all of those conjugations in the, just knowing where, like, quelque chose. Did you ever drink boire quelque chose? À côté, là-bas. And they would be like, okay, he's saying close by, over there, you know, and I would just kind of move my hands like someplace close. Oh, oui, monsieur. La gauche, la droite. And then I take a left, make a right, and I could fucking handle it. I actually had the stewards on the plane going, would you prefer if we just did this in French? Because they could tell I was trying to learn it. I was so fucking psyched. You know, Billy Shy Boy. Billy Shy Boy. That was when I had a music contract early in my career. Billy Shy Boy. I was in a boy band, and that's what I went by. You know, we were trying to ride the coattails of New Edition, followed by New Kids on the Block. It was the third incarnation of Suburban. That was our hook. We were suburban white boys. We weren't the cool white boys from Dorchester. We were the suburban ones. And I went by Billy Shy Boy. And we never got out of the garage. Sorry. Anyway, no, I was trying to start a metal band in my garage. I just wanted to be in a band. So anyway, all right, where am I going from here? Let's talk about, we'll just back our way through it. So I flew back. We were in Tours, and we drove up to Paris, which took a couple of hours. Got up at 6 in the morning, and then we went to Charles de Gaulle Airport. My daughter had out her laptop and was watching Charlie Marron try to kick the football, and Marron, Charlie Marron, pourquoi, Charlie, pourquoi? La même chose, Charlie. Charlie. Anyways, Pig Pen, il est poo-poo. Okay, hang on a second. So we get to the airport, and it's classic. Just traveling with kids 5 and under. My son's 2 years old. Where are the passports? My wife has the passports. My mother-in-law had this duty-free bag of shit. She couldn't remember where she put it. Did they leave it in the van? All of this stuff. You finally get to the other side of customs. You always feel at some point someone's just going to stop you. Halt! You're just never going to be able to get back to your country. So we ended up finally getting to the airport. And something I learned is my son's a little loud and a little out of control because I'm sort of overcompensating from my childhood. So I had to become old firm Freckles with him. And I'd be honest with you, it took like literally 5 minutes in one temper tantrum. And then I ended up having the snap and the stare. And he would just look at me and he'd put his hands over his eyes and then peek through his fingers. And it was just like, just doing, that's like and I didn't have to fucking raise my voice or anything. I just had to sit him down and be like, hey, enough of this. Apologize to your sister. Say you're sorry. And that would always hit him. And he'd be like, sorry. And my daughter would be like, it's okay. Yeah, he's kind of like a lunatic or whatever. But despite that, he is only 2 years old. All right? So, and he is going to be on a plane for like 12 hours. And I got to tell you something. He got on the plane and he was being a little loud. And there was this older couple in front of us. And this fucking guy is like giving my kid looks. And I was sitting there going like, I never thought I had it in me to slap somebody that looked like they were pushing 80. But I was just sitting there. I wanted to look at that guy and be like, buddy, do you think you didn't cry when you were fucking 2? You old cunt, when you were on a fucking wooden ship trying not to get scurvy? When you crossed this fucking ocean the last time? He was going, can we change our seats? Because this is just going to be really difficult. Oh, is it really going to be difficult to go from Paris to fucking Los Angeles in 11 and a half hours? With a live flat bed. I am proud to say that in 12 hours, there was 3 incidents of my son just wigging out, which I think was pretty fucking good. And I stayed up the whole time. I did like 200 laps with him around the cabin, carrying him. He knew how to say hello. He's such a friendly little guy. He'd walk by and he'd meet people and he'd go, bonjour. Of course, so the stewards and all of them fucking loved him. Stewardesses, whatever the fuck he's supposed to, the male stewards and the stewardesses, the attendant de la flat. And we ended up just having like a great time. And I sat next to my daughter and we basically just laughed and shot the shit for probably half of the flight. And I just kept looking at her thinking like how awesome. Like, this is my daughter. This is amazing. But anyway, my son did great. I was so proud of him. And I feel like I became a better dad because I was embarrassed. Like, there was a few times where I was telling him to be quiet and he just would not be quiet. I was like, wow, my son really doesn't listen to me. I need to fix this. And I fixed it really quick. Not going to lie to you. There was a pretty loud debate from him, but I fixed it and that was it. And I was just thinking to myself, I was trying to put myself in the other people's position. And I was like, you know what? I get annoyed a little bit when other kids are crying, but I always understood it. And my whole thing was if the parent was making an effort to keep the kid quiet, then at the end of the day, what are they supposed to do? What are they supposed to do? Drug the kid? Put a chloroform rag over his fucking face? And those people who give me dirty looks, my whole thing is as long as you never had kids, As long as you never had kids, then I get it. You hate kids, and this is why you didn't have kids. I can even understand that. But, like, if you had kids and you're still giving those fucking looks, like, I don't know. I immediately assume that you were a shit parent. Is that wrong? By the way, the wedding that we went to was in a castle on the French countryside, and it ended with fireworks out on the terrace. I mean, it was a once in a lifetime experience. That's what I loved about the wedding was even as a guest, it was like it was a night you were never going to forget. So I was very psyched and that I was invited to something like that. I had a great time, and it was one of those awesome weddings, where you just know the people should be together. We just like, they totally fit. And then everybody who came up and gave speeches were just crushing it. It was awesome. Oh, and we were at the castle. We stayed there after the wedding. We were like the last couple that left. We stayed there. Oh, my God, I had this amazing pool. And when I was in Vancouver, I bought these swimming goggles. They actually had a Speedo store. Oh, my God, I couldn't wear anything in there. I just hate my body right now. I don't even want to talk about it. But the goggles, they had the regular, I'm at a Days Inn. They have an indoor/outdoor pool. It's been pissed in. Let me jump in that. They had those ones. And then they had the, are you competing for a spot on the national team? And I was like, I don't know why. I was like, let me get those. I'll take those. They're fucking incredible. And I was in La Piscine, however you say pool. This is what I would do. I would sit by the pool, right? I'd just fucking chill out. And there was like a fucking bog or some shit. Like some pond that you couldn't even see the water. It had all this green shit on it. And that fucking thing, there was so much chatter coming from that pond. It was across the road. Oh, by the way, my son imitates the police cars over there. He kept going, wee, wah, yee, yah, yee. He loved them. And my daughter was speaking French with the flight attendants. They absolutely fucking loved her. And said that she spoke great French and all of that type of stuff. I'm actually starting to speak French with my daughter. It's so fucking cool. But my son loves planes, motorcycles, helicopters, trucks, and cars. And every day now he wants to come out to the garage. It's kind of good. I start my old truck up. I pull it out of the garage and everything. And when we landed at LAX and he saw all the other airplanes, he had a fucking meltdown. And he was pointing at them, and I was going, yeah, buddy, like airplane. And he was just going like, that airplane, no, as we were walking away. And I finally figured out that he thought that we could just go and sit in them and play in all the airplanes. So with his cute little 2-year-old mind, he was like, why are we going this way? We should all go play on those planes and pretend we're flying them. And the trucks and the buses. So we finally had to be like, the planes are going bye-bye. Planes are going bye-bye. And he's like, bye-bye planes. Bye-bye planes. It absolutely fucking broke my heart. But I was also totally psyched that he was into planes and trucks and all of that shit. All right, I am babbling here. Speaking of stainless steel, my wedding ring, that's the kind of precious metal you get as the husband. They melt down a toaster into a circle. There you go, buddy. I do this dumb thing where I take my wedding ring off when I put on lotion because I don't like when the lotion gets underneath the ring. And I always set the ring on top of my wallet. And when I'm on the road, I get super paranoid if I take the ring off. But I don't know why. I'm just going to stop doing it. So I took the ring off. It was 6 a.m. 6 a.m. at the Waffle House. I actually heard the original version. It was 3 a.m. at the Pancake House. And then Jay-Z goes, no, I switched it a little bit. I say 4 a.m. at the Waffle House. And then they were like, okay, that's different. Anyway, so I had this I took the ring off in the bathroom. And it wasn't until we were like 2 hours into our drive going back up to Paris, I looked down and it wasn't on my finger. And I went, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. My wife's like, what? I'm like, I might have left my ring at the hotel. She was totally cool because she was with me. You know what I mean? I think if you're on the road by yourself and you're like, I think I left my ring at the hotel. I don't think your wife's going to be cool. But I was like, no, I think it's in my toiletry bag. And we called the hotel and they didn't have it. So I go, I know it's there. It has to be there. And my toiletry bag was in the big bag that I was checking, and we were going through customs. And I'm like, look, it's either there or it's not. I'm not doing this shit now. And I flew the whole way back without the ring on, and it felt really weird. I didn't even realize all the subconscious things I do with it, because it's not totally like, I didn't want it to be maybe I'm oversharing here, but I have like giant fucking, like my knuckles are bigger than the fucking finger meat behind it. So it had to be big enough to get around the knuckles. I basically have an hourglass finger shape. I found my ring, by the way. So anyway, I landed and I got home and I opened my toiletry bag. And I'm like, there it is. And then it turned out to be the circle from the scissors for my nose hairs. And I was like, oh no. I was like, I know it's in here. And I went in and it was there. And I put it on and everything was cool. But my wife was like ridiculously cool. She goes, well, we can just go get another one. I thought she was going to be like, how could you? That was the one I put on your finger when we got married. Oh my God. But she's not like that. Like every year we kind of like, we're not good with like dates. Like, what do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Wait, when's our anniversary? Ah, fuck. Was that yesterday? All right. That's it, everybody. I'm out of here. Je te laisse. Au revoir. Yeah, I think that's it. I was just thinking I'm going to move to France. I just need 3 months. 3 months, and I'll take French lessons and all that, be fucking hardcore, and then I can do what I've always wanted to do, which is go to France, do a show only in French, and just trash them. These fucking guys, I swear to God, their customer service, that's their shit, dude. When you go to France, if you ask them, just say, hey, my leg is hanging off. I'm going to bleed to death. Their first response is like, I'm sorry, monsieur. There's nothing we can do. You got to like elevate your voice. Not like yell at them, but you just got to be like, you got to like wake them out of their laissez-faire, whatever the fuck it is that they just don't give a fuck. You got to like remind them. Okay. Oh, I was almost going to say something really bad there. I'm not going to say it. All right. That's I don't need to start an international incident here. That's the podcast. Go fuck yourselves. I will check in on you on Thursday.